Welcome to the Build Smart, Lead Strong podcast on the Michigan Business Network. My name is Jennifer DeMudd, Executive Director of the Manufacturing Growth Alliance, also known as MGA. Today, we are talking with a company in Michigan who provides maintenance technicians to manufacturers nationwide. They are a learning organization focused on continuous improvement based on their customers' advancing technology. Our guest today is Roy Lemke, Director of Operations. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks, Jennifer. We're glad to be here.
So, Pro Services has been around since around 1987. You have an interesting model to your service. Will you tell us a little bit about Pro Services, who you are, what services you offer to manufacturers?
Yeah, so Pro Services, you stated already, right? We like to describe ourselves as a learning organization. But we were started in 1987 by Mike Vandemel, right here in Portage, Michigan. Started at a skilled trades company, providing services to manufacturing. Lots of work in the pulp and paper industry, energy industries, large project work around pipe fitting, mill writing, skilled trades type of support work for large manufacturers. Over time, we recognized that there was a significant need in the manufacturing industry for maintenance support and mostly like maintenance technicians that are working inside factories, repairing the equipment day in and day out, doing the preventative maintenance on the equipment so it keeps running, doing the reactive maintenance when things break on the production lines to manufacture their product. What we found was that customers that we had on the skilled trade side of the business were coming to us and saying, hey, could we borrow some millwrights or some pipe fitters to work on our maintenance team as support staff until we get people that we're hiring internally to fill these openings that we have. What we recognized was that there was a significant need in the manufacturing industry, in the maintenance business support of these companies. And skilled tradespeople, while they have great skills, they're usually trained in one specific area of expertise. You know, a millwright's a millwright, pipe fitter's a pipe fitter. So we recognized that if we really wanted to help our customers, we needed to figure out how to get them trained professional maintenance technicians with the backgrounds that they need to support their industry. You know, there's a lot of automation out there for manufacturing, a lot of switches and sensors and electronics and electrical training that skilled tradespeople don't have unless maybe they came out of an electrical apprenticeship program or something like that. So that got us looking at how can we best service this industry overall, and that led us down the path that became our FMT division, which is full maintenance service technicians. And that division has its own apprenticeship program, its own school. We're a registered educational institution. So we have a training platform. We have U.S. Department of Labor apprenticeship program that supports that part of the business, and then that business is supporting our manufacturers in the maintenance industry.
I'm going to ask a little bit more about the full maintenance teams because, gosh, Pro Services, you provide a lot of solutions to manufacturers. Let's take a second and drill down a little bit into the full maintenance teams. Sounds like they're an incredible resource for manufacturers. How do you attract individuals to the maintenance team, and what does their training program look like, Roy?
Okay, so that program overall, it operates a few ways. So we do everything from full service maintenance, where we go into a facility and they contract Pro Services to take over all their maintenance. So, you know, you're manufacturing an automotive component, whatever it may be, that's your area of expertise. You may have an in-house maintenance staff, maybe hopefully you're a new company and you're going to need an in-house maintenance staff, and you'll just contract Pro Services to bring in our maintenance leadership, our maintenance programs, and our technicians. And then we have customers that use us as staff augmentation, where maybe they have a crew of 10 people and they need 12, and they'll lease 2 technicians from Pro Services. So what we do to attract people into those industries, we have our own recruiting division. We have our own training platform and systems, and we have our own tools for assessing a technician's abilities. So we'll recruit out a market for higher level technicians that may want to work with us. So we will, we'll use LinkedIn, we'll use other platforms for recruiting, and then we'll bring people into our system, and we'll run them through a process where we do profiling, we do skills assessing, we do many vetting protocols to make sure that if we recruit somebody out of market, they're a candidate that's a good fit for pro services, that believes in our values, that believes in lifelong learning and wants to be the technician they can over the course of their career. So we'll bring people in that way. We'll also recruit out of the local community colleges, technical trade schools, local high schools and tech centers, tech centers, things like that, where we'll recruit for our apprenticeship program. And we will use the same vetting process to bring them in, but instead of putting them to work in the market, we'll put them in our training center over here in Portage, where they'll start their apprenticeship program and they'll grow as a technician from the ground up with us.
With today's need to add workforce to manufacturing facilities, I can certainly see that manufacturers would want to leverage your services. Do you have an example maybe that you could share of one manufacturer who leveraged pro services help? Can be a small or medium manufacturer, preferably in Michigan, but doesn't need to be.
Yeah, we have a lot. we're all over the United States, so we have a lot of customers that have leveraged us. But locally, we really try to provide support here in Michigan to our local manufacturers. And so we've had some small companies locally, mid-sized companies locally that had aging workforce, right? Technicians that were getting close to retirement, skill gaps as far as younger technicians, what they had for experience, background, technical training, and they've tapped into our apprenticeship program, and they've said, okay, we have a team of 10 people, and we have 4 people that we know are retiring in the next 1 to 2 years. We have a couple of people that are new to the system, not highly technically capable, but they're learning, they're coming up, they're growing. So we need to kind of fill that in between. And so what we've done for them is we recruited out a market for some very specialized high-level technicians that had experience in their industry, that had a strong background. We profiled them with our profiling process. It's called a culture talent profile. We did skills assessments to verify their technical background. And then we put them in as higher level technicians in that facility. Then what we did was we earmarked individuals from our Pro U program, our apprenticeship program, to be lower level technicians, to grow up and be trained on the job by those higher level techs while they were doing their technical training for their apprenticeship. So, right, they're growing at the same time. They're getting some immediate relief, some immediate impact from our higher level technicians that are acquiring what we call tribal knowledge from these individuals that are going to retire out, right? They have intimate knowledge of their manufacturing systems that are in place currently, and we want to get that knowledge, right, passed on before they leave. So putting those high level technicians in place, they already have the technical background abilities, so they're just really acquiring the tribal knowledge that these legacy technicians are carrying, and then able to pass that on as they're growing technicians in the organization. So that's an example of how we help local manufacturers. That's a pretty consistent approach that we take.
Yeah, I mean, you're helping manufacturers build that pipeline. That's so pipeline of talent. It's so critically important. My father recently retired, and he had always been in maintenance, tool and die guy, and recently retired. And it just breaks my heart that he didn't train anyone before he retired. So I'm trying to get him back into the workforce just part-time to help train some other young people, so that they a manufacturer can fill that pipeline. But enough said about that.
I think those of us in this industry that have been here a while, we all have an obligation to do just that. If we want manufacturing to stay in the United States, if we want it to grow and flourish, and we want to be competitive, we all have to own our piece of making that happen. And we have to figure out how to train these younger people and get them in the industry. And a lot of people don't even realize that this is a favorable career path with a very lucrative career path, very rewarding career path. But it does take technical knowledge, technical training, and skill sets. And if you don't know it's there, you don't know how to go pursue it.
My father spent 50 years, 50 years in it. So I certainly know where you're coming from, Roy.
Yep.
So with the insights you have on manufacturers, what are your thoughts on the challenges they're currently facing?
Some of the biggest challenges that we see, and one of the reasons that we decided to start our apprenticeship program for maintenance technicians, is it's a twofold problem. There's an aging workforce. And so there's this what we call the wave, right? There's a huge wave of retirees that are going to be leaving the manufacturing world. You're aware of it in the work that you do. And so we see that as a huge problem because they're those legacy technicians. They're going to walk away with that tribal knowledge. So that's one problem that manufacturers are facing. Another problem they're facing is there was a period of time, and it was about 15 to 18 years, where we stopped focusing on pathways to get into manufacturing. We pulled technical training out of the community colleges. We shut down the vocational schools that were tied to the high school programs, and it cut off people's pathway into this industry. So there's about a 15 to 18 year window where people were not coming into manufacturing with this mindset of being a maintenance mechanic, a maintenance technician, right? And so there's just a gap where there was nobody coming in. So you have this workforce where there's retirees retiring out, and there's younger people that have now found a path in, but there's a huge gap where there's still going to be this void where there's not enough technicians to do the work. There's not enough technicians to go around that have the skill sets. So it's a big problem. Another problem that we're seeing is companies are passing the talent around, and it's driving the wages to a place where it's not economically feasible for these manufacturers because it's so expensive to employ a technician. They're getting technicians with less than desirable skill sets and backgrounds that they have to pay a premium price for, because the technicians are getting passed around because there's not enough to go around, and it's driving the prices up. And it's not sustainable. That's another major problem that I see in the industry.
Yeah, I've certainly heard of that challenge fairly recently.
Yeah.
So let's pivot the question a little bit to pro services. What challenges have you encountered over the past year or so, and how have you navigated through those challenges?
Well, we have the same challenge when it comes to recruiting technicians out of market. So when we're recruiting higher level technicians out of market, bringing them into our organization, we obviously have to pay a premium price. We provide very good benefits and those kind of things to get them in. So we pay 100% of our employees' benefit package, which makes us a little more favorable as an employer. So that helps. But we have that challenge. We have the challenge of not enough technicians to go around, and we fight it just like everybody else does. We've had a lot of challenges around our apprenticeship program and making it favorable to where we can add value to customers and be able to bring apprentices in and grow them for customers long term. So everybody has such a need in the industry that they all want top level talent tomorrow. Everybody has the same need and everybody wants the same solution. So our challenge has been getting our customers to participate in a balancing act of some higher level talent, some talent that they're going to grow internally from the ground up through our apprenticeship program. If I had top tier technicians sitting here, I could put them to work around the clock all day long, every day. That door would never close. There's so much need out there. But the technicians aren't there to do the work either, which is why the need is out there. So that's a challenge for us as well.
So part of business success is giving back to employees and community. Will you share a little bit how Pro Services engages with your employees and the community?
Yeah, so when it comes to our employees, like I said, we pay full maintenance and benefits. We have really good benefit packages, healthcare packages, retirement packages. We invest in education for all of our employees. So we have our own internal education. We are a registered educational institution in the state of Michigan. So all of our employees have access to all of our training. And we have about 2,500 hours of accredited training in our system currently. It's available to all of our employees. We also bonus our employees for participating in training because we are a learning organization. We want our people to grow and learn and get better and continue to improve. So we do that. And then for the community, we do a lot of donation stuff. We donated blankets and supplies to the SPCA of Southwest Michigan last year. We do the Christmas tree walk. We always decorate trees for the Christmas tree walk in Portage. We provide trucks and equipment for the 4th of July parade every year out at Gull Lake. We sponsor the Gull Lake robotics team. We sponsor coat and boot drives at local elementary schools around the area. We do the Toys for Tots every season. We also work with Southwest Michigan First through some of their initiatives and do donations based on things that they're doing and things like that. So those are some of the things that we do locally.
I thought that list was going to go on and on and on. That's fantastic. I always love to ask that question. What do you do for your employees and what do you do for community? Because a successful business has to put effort into their employees and, in my perspective, community as well. So thank you for all you're doing for both.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Vandemel, the owner of Pro Services, is from Southwest Michigan. He's from the Portage area, and so he has a strong connection, strong ties to the community, and definitely believes in that.
So we just have a few more questions. I asked a while back about challenges. Can we talk a little bit about opportunities? What do you see are the biggest opportunities for Pro Services in the next, we'll say 3 years? And how does this impact manufacturers?
Yeah, I mean, I think, so the big opportunities for us that I'm seeing, and the big opportunities I think that can help the manufacturing industries overall, is contract maintenance programs, where instead of these companies continuing to try to be an expert in manufacturing their product and an expert in all the other things that it takes to support their business to manufacture the product, they contract out the stuff that is not their area of expertise. For instance, plant maintenance, right? I think the opportunity for Pro is to partner with these companies and help them recognize that they can probably reduce their maintenance spend by bringing in people whose area of expertise is in industrial maintenance, bringing in systems and structure, high-level maintenance leadership. One of the things we strive for is our technicians are what we call 360-degree technicians. So they understand the fundamentals in all areas of industrial maintenance: electrical, mechanical, hydraulics, pneumatics, what we call general studies. So they can do a little bit of everything. They're not necessarily an expert in one area. A lot of companies out there have some people that are strong electrically, but they don't know anything mechanically, or some people that are strong mechanically, but don't know anything electrically. What it causes is you have to overstaff to support your business. And so we've found that we can be highly effective and very efficient with our full maintenance programs when we come in, contract the maintenance work for a manufacturer, apply our expertise. We usually reduce their overhead costs when it comes to what it costs them to run their maintenance budget per year. And I think that's really where there's a lot of opportunity on both sides. There's opportunity for manufacturers to get that off their plate, reduce their outlay, their spend, and opportunity for Pro to grow.
Sounds like a win-win.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to share with us today, Roy?
Really, just if there's manufacturers out there that are interested in our programs, have questions about how we can help with their maintenance business, we'd love to talk to them. And if there's technicians out there or younger people out there that want to explore getting into the maintenance field, they can come down and take a look at our apprenticeship program, and we'd love to talk to them.
So how do they get a hold of you or Pro Services? What's that pathway? What's that next step for them?
Next step would be, we have a couple options. They can go online to our website. So our website is prosatwork.com. On our website, it's real straightforward on how to contact us, or they can contact us by phone, 269-327-2322.
Well, thank you so much, Roy, for being on the show today. We truly appreciate having all the services that you offer to support manufacturers in Michigan and across the nation. It takes all of us to support our manufacturers to ensure they're efficient and able to increase their sales to employ more individuals in Michigan. So also thank you for all the support you give to community and to your employees.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate what you do, Jennifer, and the Manufacturing Growth Alliance as a whole. Greatly appreciate it. And thanks for having us on here.
Absolutely. Have a great day.